Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. We are back with episode 2, or part 2, of our F1 2016 career mode with McLaren Honda. And today, as you can see on your screens right now, we have got a brand new part that has been fitted to our car. It is the chassis weight rear floor under tray upgrades that we use from Australia, from the R&D from our resource points. Part information: revisions to the design of the rear floor under tray result in weight advantage with no compromise to strength or aerodynamic performance, which basically means that our car is now lighter, but it still maintains the strong chassis, because McLaren Honda has got a strong chassis and we know that. So in the last episode, if you haven't seen the last episode, I'll give you a chance to go and watch it now. It'll be the first link in the description for you guys to go and check it out. Basically, we started in 8th position for that Grand Prix. We managed to finish 6th after a fantastic race, so everything all went well. And as you can see, this is where we are currently in terms of the development system. You can see that we have now jumped up in the development system. So you can see Mercedes still up there as number 1. Ferrari are now number 2. Red Bull number 3. Williams 4th. Haas 5th. And McLaren are now 6th. So we are now faster than Force India and Toro Rosso. So some big upgrades for us in terms of the development cycle. So you can see the progress history. That's engine power, fuel efficiency, chassis weight, downforce, drag, and current position. You can see that that is where we are in terms of chassis weight. We are 1 out of 5. You get to do 5 upgrades per position. That's how it's going to look. If we just have a look at the driver's standings for you guys quickly, you can see that we're currently sitting in 6th position in the standings. Rosberg leads from Hamilton, Raikkonen 3rd, Vettel 4th, Ricciardo 5th, I'm in 6th, Massa is 7th, Button 8th, Grosjean 9th, and Bottas getting the final points position in 10th. In the constructors standings, we currently sit in 3rd position. Fantastic for us, with Mercedes out there in front after their 1-2. Ferrari sitting in 2nd. We're in 3rd, Red Bull down in 4th, but I expect Red Bull to overtake us in this next Grand Prix. Of course, Max Verstappen crashed out of the Australian Grand Prix after collision with us, actually, in that. So, of course, Verstappen will be hoping to rebound here in Bahrain. The leaderboards, nothing's really changed. Well, there's nothing on the leaderboards. Trophy room, there's nothing in the trophy room for us. Tutorials, again, that's all the same thing. So, in terms of research and development, we have currently got 318 resource points, which is absolutely awesome. In terms of upgrading, now we've got engine power that we're definitely going to want to save up for in the near future. Fuel efficiency to improve the fuel injection system, give us more fuel for help us out the race. More chassis engine weight. We could reduce the chassis weight. This time it'll be on the engine cover, as you can see there. So it's not going to affect the engine performance this time for our car. Downforce is going to help the front wing and the turning vanes. So redesigned turning vanes help direct airflow more efficiently to the other aerodynamic devices throughout the chassis, resulting in better downforce, which is something that we may need to look into. And then we've also got the drag, which is barge boards. Turbulence created for the wheel profile can be reduced. More effective barge boards, resulting in reduction of drag. That's probably an upgrade we're going to be looking for, potentially. It only costs 400 resource points, but this is going to reduce the amount of drag that we've got on our car, which is going to give us more straight line speed, which is something that we need. And in future, we definitely want to start looking at some engine power. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to go into the practice sessions, get myself some R&D points, see how far we can go. So the rest of the video is going to be post-commentary now, from just showing you a little bits of clips from practice, then of qualifying and of the race. Now for this Grand Prix series, this Grand Prix, I've actually gone and changed the qualifying system. So now it's going to be a full qualifying session. So no longer is it going to be one-shot qualifying, it's going to be the whole thing. So Q1, Q2, and Q3. So if you do like that change, leave a like rating, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into practice, qualifying, and the race for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Okay then, so we head into the practice session then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's quite funny seeing Bahrain in the day, because of course it changed to a night race. So it was quite entertaining, but this is my best lap on the track learner practice session. I got 1 green and everywhere else was purple, a really good track. I felt so comfortable around Bahrain compared to Australia. Bahrain just felt like it just suited the car so much more. And hopefully we can get a really strong result for today's race in order to accumulate that. You can see there a purple go around the circuit, which is absolutely amazing. Now for today's episode only, there will be no replay camera angles. So when you see different angles me entering the pits, replays at the start, that's not going to be in there due to the fact that the footage was corrupt for when I was doing that specific part, recording the replay of the race from different camera angles. So all you're going to be seeing is just the onboard footage, which is a pain in the backside. It's a Bahrain trend, because last year I couldn't get the replay camera angles for Bahrain because the footage was lost. And this year for Bahrain, the footage is lost. So just put in the comment section, hashtag blame Bahrain. But we're going to be carrying things on nevertheless. And this is my tyre wear test. You can see I've got optimal tyre wear on my third lap. I then got a green on the fourth lap, which meant that I only got a green time, which means I've got 30 out of the 50 resource points. And then on the qualifying lap here, I'm looking back at Haryanto because he held me up a lot on my lap time, but it didn't really make a difference because firstly, Haryanto doesn't even drive for Manor anymore. He has been replaced. And also, we're going to be coming through to complete this qualifying simulation lap. And as you see, we cross the line now, we get purple, which gives us maximum resource points in order to help develop the car even further to try and build upon what we've got for the rest of the season. So, that is all that done. What you're going to be seeing on your screens right now is going to be the resource points that we collected from doing all the practice sessions and making sure that everything was sorted. As you can see there, we are collecting all of our points. We managed to get ourselves 200 points, leaving us with 518 resource points, which is absolutely amazing. Definitely wanted to look at that. So if we go into the laptop section then, we're going to be going to the research and development section to have a little look. And we decided to we had the choice between fuel efficiency and the drag barge boards, which are the only things we could upgrade. So my theory for this one was to upgrade the drag or like the barge board systems on the car. By doing this, this is going to be able to reduce the drag of the car without affecting anything else, which is going to give us more straight line speed, which is something McLaren do lack, and I've spotted that a lot of the times when I've been driving around the car. So that's something that we needed to work on. So we clicked to go into practice 2. We skipped practice 2. I didn't really take part in it. And now, as you can see, we're going to listen to the voicemail, and we're going to see what objectives are set for us. So, as you can see, these are the session goals. They're going to be coming from your screen. So there they are on your screen. We need to qualify 14th or higher and finish against Jensen Button. So I will leave you now to watch the qualifying session.
The cars are ready, the drivers are ready. We hope you're ready as qualifying is about to begin here in Bahrain. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximizing top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
Alright then, so as you can see, we are now into qualifying. This is going to be Q1. I said, like in the last video, we're going to be doing 3 qualifying sessions, so Q1, Q2, Q3. So, we're going to be getting ourselves ready for the first part of qualifying. You can see these are the park firming regulations, so you can only change specific parts of your car, nothing major. So we're going to be setting our first lap then on the super soft tyres here in Q1. You can see it is starting to turn into darkness. We decided to go out straight on flying lap, not waste any time. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing here. So I think I'm going to be taking you around on this first qualifying lap, showing you basically what we did on this lap. So as we're breaking into the final corner, making sure we get the best preparation coming out of the final corner to give us the best power, the best traction, better speed, all the way down the long pit straight. It's a very long pit straight indeed, and we activate the DRS beautifully there as we now come across to complete, or to start, sorry, not complete, to complete the first lap of the race. I said complete again, never mind. So we enter into turn 1, pretty bad entry. We've got a late break in, didn't quite nail the apex. Turn 2 is going to be affected by that, and then coming through to turn 3, nothing too bad here. Now we make the run up the hill, coming towards turn 4 of this Bahrain Grand Prix circuit. Braking hard towards turn 4, turning a little bit early, did clip the apex, let the car roll out and then get it onto the left-hand side of the circuit. Clip the curb, you don't need to clip it as much as I did. Braking towards turn 5, nothing too wrong there. Turn 6, nailed the apex and also the curbing, brilliant stuff. Braking now down in towards turn 7, missing the apex, running wide, locking up. Not a good corner on that time. Perez, you can see, setting the fastest lap so far. We come to the most difficult part of the corner, 8, 9 and 10, I think this is. Braking towards, we did a good job. We hit the apex, but the car ran a bit wide, a little bit of understeer on the second half of the corner. Nothing too worried about though. We can carry on from that. And as we start now accelerating through the DRS zone, braking hard into this next complex of corners. I went into the corner too early, leaving me vulnerable to running wide, which you saw on the outside or the secondary part of the corner. This corner, again, losing the back end of the car, going wide off the circuit, braking, and then entering into the corner, missing that. A little bit of a couple of crap corners there, so we need to start working on that if we're going to try and make ourselves good enough to get through to Q2, which we should. We should theoretically be Q3 contenders like we were in Australia. Braking into the final corner, we can see we hit the apex, but again, the car run wide. A little bit of understeer, again, from the McLaren Honda car. And as we come across the line, we actually set the fastest lap from that qualifying lap. I do believe I go out and set yet another lap. Whether I show it, again, we missed the apex into turn 1, and it's going to compromise our speed into turn 2. Braking coming up the hill, Grosjean comes and absolutely smashes the time that we set, which is pretty good for Grosjean. Braking hard again up into turn 4. This time we clip the apex. This time we get the car planted, and I do believe I'm going to show this second lap. So again, it's the same complex again. I decided to go out for a second run because not only did the Haas completely smash my lap time, but I made a lot of mistakes, as you saw, coming towards the final part of the lap. Hamilton with the 34.2, I believe that is, and I can't remember what my lap time was. I think it was 36 flat, so we are very, very far off the pace compared to the Mercedes. So I thought I'd go out and set another lap because I think I could probably find another second or so on this lap. You can see from the delta in the top left, top right, we're currently up on our time. So this time we take the corner. Again, we missed the corner, but it doesn't mean that we run out wide and start losing the back end of the car. Braking hard then toward, or we didn't actually need to brake. We've nailed this corner absolutely flat out. Brilliant stuff. Braking now, we have got, I believe that's Rosberg in front of us. But as we come now down the back straight, you can see the delta in the top right, showing how much time we've managed to gain from doing yet this second lap. Braking towards the final corner now. Rosberg, that is, in front of us. He's not going to be troubling us at all. I was only going to settle with my one lap, but of course now we've got the likes of Kvyat and stuff that we should be beating in front of us. So we go and power in the lap time, finishing in 3rd position, which I felt was a comfortable lap time indeed. And I just decided to retire from the session from that one. We didn't need to be there at all. And there you can see there, we managed to finish in 7th position for Q1. Coming into Q2 now, we decided to take a gamble and go on the soft tyres. Now, if I was on the soft tyres, we would then be able to start on these tyres for the start of the race, which I felt could help me out. So this is actually my second lap. Once again, I felt like I'd get more out of my second lap than I could have out of my first lap. So I decided to do everything I could to try and get myself into Q3, just using the soft tyres only. So this is what I wanted to try and do. I wanted to just try and use the soft tyres, see if we could make it through or not. And boom, we managed to qualify 4th position in Q2. I believe that will drop further down the order when we actually get to the specific stage. You can see that we actually qualified 5th for that, which is absolutely awesome. So we'll be starting the race on the soft tyres. So a different change of strategy coming in for myself and as we drive up now, because I noticed that the McLarens are very poor at tyre durability. And that's how I managed. That's why I pitted on lap 5 in Australia, and I struggled at the end of the race to get the tyres working. So I thought, if I started on a more durable compound of tyres, it means that they're going to last longer for me, and I'll be able to push even faster than the drivers in front of me. So that's what my decision was on that. But we enter into Q3 now, and we are running the soft tyre, the super soft tyres, the red mark tyres. So this is the fastest compound of tyres, because of course we're starting the race on the yellow mark soft tyres. So now for Q3, we can go and set our lap time now on the super soft tyres. Now, if you're not sure how this tyre starting works, whatever is your best qualifying time from Q2, and if you make it into Q3, you will start on your fastest lap in Q2, the tyres that you used in Q2 to set your fastest lap. That's only if you made it into Q3. If you did not make it into Q3, you've got the freedom to start on whatever tyre compounds you wish to start on. But this is our hot lap for Q3. Purple in the first sector. Of course, no one's really set a lap time, I do believe, yet. So, of course, I'm going to be setting the fastest lap time here in qualifying. We're braking down towards this corner. You've seen a couple of these laps now. You can see I've actually got the car in standard mixture. I should really have put the car into rich mixture to give it as much power as possible. I may or may not have shown it on this lap. I can't remember. But Jenson Button, my teammate, goes around to 36.4, I believe that said, for the fastest lap. I hope it said a 36.4 if it wasn't retarded. But then Hamilton comes in and automatically just absolutely smashes my teammate's lap time, which is a bit of a shame, showing how much the McLaren still have to improve, even though, of course, at the moment, luckily, we're at a circuit I really do enjoy and I really do driving around. But the next race in China is one of my weakest circuits, so that's going to be a challenge for us to get the car working. around China. But we're coming towards the final corner now, again on this qualifying lap down into the last corner. Nailed that last corner perfectly. Could have used a bit more of the curb on the outside. Nothing too bad about it though. We come in, blast our DRS there, and you can see that we managed to qualify P3, which is a beautiful lap time. And overall, we finished in 6th position for qualifying, which is absolutely amazing for us. 6th position is brilliant for us. We started 8th last race, 6th this race, and of course, I felt the car was just so good around Bahrain. It really did work for us. Which is awesome. So you can see the resource points that we do get for completing qualifying for going through Q2, going through Q1, Q2, and Q3. Objectives complete and an extra little bonus giving us 112 RP, which is absolutely amazing. And you can see this is the rivalry system, me versus Jensen Button. I am actually leading this rivalry by quite some distance at the moment, and that is that. And this is driver position stuff. For that. So we're going to listen to the voicemail then from our cheeky little woman. She's going to tell us our session goals for this Bahrain Grand Prix. And I'm now going to let the commentators speak for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And then I will see you in just a second to commentate.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and 2 DRS zones will help with that as well. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Bahrain has showed us many times in the past, though, Anthony Davidson, that a good strategy will only take you so far. Beyond that, you need good racecraft and you need good consistency.
And a little bit of luck too, I'd say. This is one of those circuits where the safety car always seems to come out just at the right time to condense the field together and mix up the cars on different strategies. It's hard on brakes, it's tough on fuel, and the main overtaking opportunity is down into turn 1, where it's easy to outbrake your opponent and potentially have a bit of argy-bargy as well.
Great starting position for us. Let's see if we can improve on that in the race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, and a McLaren, Bottas, Massa, Button, and Max Verstappen, Grosjean, Sainz, Sergio Perez, and Gutierrez, Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Felipe Nasser, and Jolyon Palmer, Wehrlein, and Magnussen, Rio Haryanto, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see we are now coming towards the, we're going to about to start the Grand Prix. So we had 2 different tyre compound options that we went for. Now it took a long time to make out the race strategy that I wanted to do, because as you can see there, it says that we're going to be running the soft tyres and then the medium compound tyres. Now what I technically wanted to do was I wanted to run the soft tyres and then I wanted to run the super soft tyres to make me even quicker towards the end of the race. But for some reason I had to add in a second stint for me to do what I wanted to do. So it took me a long time to think of the right stint. I was initially going to think of maybe doing a 2-stop race so that we can really absolutely go for it, but I didn't know if that was going to bite me back. So I decided not to do the 2-stop option. It was an option I was thinking of. I was thinking for quite a little bit of time, and I decided initially that I was going to go for the 2-stop. I was like, yeah, I might as well just do a 2-stop. Again, I just tried to change stuff, so you don't worry about that. Yeah, we did go for the one-stop option, the soft and medium compound tyres. That's what we did eventually go for. I wanted to run the super softs, but at the end of it, you know, we went for that, and we're going to be starting this race again. I keep checking. I was like, yeah, nah, actually, let's go on the super soft tyres. Let's see if we can do that instead. Oh wait, it can only make me go on the mediums. I couldn't. So I was checking all my things, then I thought, no, one stop's the best way to go. Yeah, we'll just do that one. F1 2016. This is going to be the formation lap then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Nothing amazing on the formation lap. I actually jumped the start a little bit there on the formation lap. I was really eager to get going. Yeah. So as you can see, formation lap coming along. We getting down towards turn 1. Again, the formation lap, you know, let me know in the comment section down below. Would you like me to show the formation lap around the circuits? Or would you prefer it if I just skip straight to the start of the race? Just give me some feedback and I will start changing those. So as you can see, we're warming up the tyres, warming up the brakes, getting the engine up to temperature, making sure everything's in good nick, especially the tyres. Like I said, as long as those tyres are up to temperature, it means that you're going to get the best traction off the line, and you're going to be able to make up some good places come the start of the Grand Prix. So we come now down towards the second sector of the circuit, and braking towards this difficult little section here. But as you guys know, in the driver's standings, we are currently 5th. No, we're not 5th in the driver's standings. We are 6th in the driver's standings after getting P6 in Australia. Our teammate Jenson Button, of course, getting some points. So hopefully today, McLaren, we can score some good points again. We want to keep on improving the car as much as we possibly can. McLaren are definitely a lot more competitive in this year's game, I found out, compared to 2015, showing basically how McLaren have actually improved quite a lot from this compared from last year to this year. Last year McLaren were absolutely nowhere and couldn't even think about getting a point. This year, you know, they're starting to compete for a lot more points in the drivers' standings and in the constructors' standings, which is awesome to see. We're coming now down towards the back straight. Of course, we've got Vettel in front of us. We were hoping that his engine would blow up, just like it did in real life, but unfortunately Vettel's engine managed to hold on, and we have to settle for staying in 6th position. I was hoping his engine would blow up, to be honest, like it did, but it didn't, so we'll have to go with it. So now, as you can see, the game takes over, and it is now going to direct me over to the starting line for my race here in Bahrain. Starting in 6th position, probably going to be one of our best races of the season because this is one of my strongest circuits on the track. So I need to make advantage of this being my best circuit, because next race is China and I'm not so good at that, but we need to focus on Bahrain. Let's not focus about China. Let's get Bahrain sorted. So you see the cars all lining up on the grid. The guy at the back is now at the back. I don't know who's at the back of the field. You'll have to rewind and have a look at the qualifying session. And it's now the intense little wait. Everyone's on the grid. The black screen emerges. We are ready. The clutch is down. We have got the reds going. 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So we actually got a decent start. Sebastian Vettel to our left-hand side, bit bogged down at the start. Secondary fade to the start goes to Vettel. Ricciardo, I'm being swamped by a bunch of Williamses, though, coming down into turn 1. There's a lot of contact that's been made. Ricciardo turns right in onto me. Williamses make contact with me, and it's all complete chaos. But out of that, we actually managed to get into 5th position. We've got to run now down towards, we move on to the right-hand side for Ricciardo, down into turn 4. We brake later than Ricciardo. Ricciardo very, very generous on the brakes. We nail the apex into turn 4, let the car run wide, and despite all the contact that we got coming through turn 1, we have managed to go into 4th position, which is brilliant for us. Absolutely brilliant. I do believe that Rosberg leads, Hamilton 2nd, Raikkonen 3rd. I am in 4th. We missed the apex going down here, and Ricciardo is down into 5th. Vettel 6th. Bottas and Massa, I think, are next. But absolutely crazy stuff. Again, I haven't got any replay angles, so I can't show you what happened into turn 1, but from what that was shown from that angle, Ricciardo sort of turned. I couldn't turn in as much as I wanted to. I got a Williams on my right-hand side. I needed to give him the space. Ricciardo turned in, made contact with me, so I had to turn in, making contact with Williams. And it was all chaos going into turn 1, but luckily it hasn't compromised us, and we can carry on our way. Coming now down towards the final sector of the circuit, braking towards now coming to the back straight. You can see, though, the leaders out in front. All 3 of those are on the super soft tyres. We are on the softer compound tyres, so we're going to be slower than them. So it's going to be a defensive race, I do believe. We're not going to be able to catch up to the Ferraris and the Mercedes because we simply don't have the power. Final corner, nail the final corner. Didn't quite get as much of the curb as I wanted to. I probably could have stayed on the curb a little longer. But That is absolutely awesome. So Rosberg there setting the fastest lap of the race. We are in second. We're not in second, we're in fourth. What about? But Ricciardo thinks about making a run at us down into turn 1 again. Straight line speeds lacking form on McLaren, and I need to make sure that nobody can get past us. So we're coming now up the hill towards turn 4. Can Ricciardo get another run on us towards turn 4? You can see he's getting closer in the slipstream of the McLaren. Luckily for me, there is just too little road left for Ricciardo to make a good run at us, because of course we know Ricciardo's main strengths. He does like to use his brakes very, very late to get a diving move round on the inside. So we're not going to let that happen. So coming down towards now this next section of the circuit, but we're cutting towards the end of lap 2, and as you can see, we nail the final corner pretty much perfect. Maybe could have been a little bit better, but now Hamilton goes and sets the fastest lap of this race. Hamilton really going for it. Raikkonen now is very competitive in the Ferrari, but we've got Daniel Ricciardo to think about. He's actually going to think about making a move. I give him some space, and he decides against it. He wanted to get into the slipstream of my car. I just tweaked my car to the left a little bit. Sorry, to the right. But he wanted to go for the inside line, but there just wasn't enough space. If Ricciardo went to the right and did a late braking maneuver, he may have done something. But coming towards turn 4, he's got another chance. But again, turn 4, he just isn't close enough to the rear of our car to think about making a diving maneuver. And that's something I want to think about, talk about as well, is the AIs in this game are not that aggressive. They don't really go for it as you really want them to. It's something that's a bit, it's bugging me a lot. I really want the AIs to really press down on me, really give me a fight, but they just don't seem to be doing that at the moment. Hopefully Codemasters do end up trying to make them a lot more aggressive. When we come down into this corner, you can see we make a poor entrance into the corner, a bad exit, and now Ricciardo is right on the back of us. DRS activated. Vettel goes to the one side, Ricciardo goes to the left-hand side. Vettel's also, sorry, Ricciardo right-hand side, Vettel left-hand side. They're both in front, but out of nowhere, we brake later. We've got the perfect racing line, and that's what I mean. They just both backed out of the corner. Vettel could have easily stayed with me then. Ricciardo could have easily stayed away. It could have gone 3 abreast, and I may have lost out in some positions, but it just didn't happen. Ricciardo and Vettel have to sit back again, and luckily for me, that's what happened. Right, so Ricciardo decided to... Ricciardo fell down the order a little bit. Vettel managed to get past him. I think Bottas got past him as well, so Ricciardo's starting to struggle, but Sebastian Vettel is not struggling. He has got some pace. He's now got the DRS activated. You can see him in my rear mirror. He is going to be coming. He goes to the right-hand side of the circuit to try and get the racing line, but luckily I brake a little bit later, and Sebastian Vettel will not be able to get the pass done just there. Vettel, you can see there, having a little look. It's not going to work for him though, and we come towards now the final sector on this lap. We are going to be making our pit stop on the end of this lap. It is lap 5. We'll be making our pit stop for lap 6, and then we'll be taking the medium compound tyres all the way to the end. But Vettel moves to the right-hand side of the circuit to see if he can get a run on us. And again, he brakes earlier than us, and we managed to maintain our position. So the AIs really are kind on the brakes. Now, as you can see, we're coming towards into the pit stop. Everybody else actually carries on, which is pretty surprising. They all seem to just carry on. They don't come into the pits. They just leave it at their own, and for me, that's fine, because that's going to give me an undercut, and it means that I'm going to be able to really press on in this career mode. So you can see we make our pit stop a pretty decent pit stop indeed. Very good for us. So we wanted to try and get out into some clean air, and you can see that's exactly what we got. In Australia, we came out in a lot of traffic. This time out in Bahrain, we have come out into some really nice clean air. We don't quite hit the apex of turn 1, which is kind of expected really from the exit of the pit lane. We've now chucked the car into rich fuel mixture. You can see there, you may have just been able to have seen how much actually, how much extra laps I had of fuel. So I decided to chuck my car into rich mix. I've got fresh tyres. I can really go for it. Max Verstappen is behind me. He's on the soft tyres, so we do expect Verstappen to close the little gap that we have to him. So expect Verstappen to be quite easy prey for me come the end of the race. I think I said that the wrong way around, but nevertheless, we're going to carry onwards because, of course, the rest of the field actually stayed out. Now, of course, they were quicker than me. You could see that. It was kind of obvious. I was holding them up, and the only way I was really getting past them was because the AIs are not aggressive on the brakes. That's something I've really spotted. They're not aggressive on the braking, and that was what allowed me to get in front. So we brake now down towards this final sector of the circuit, just settling into the car. Of course, we've got cold tyres, so we need to make sure they're up to temperature, and we just got to absolutely blitz it for the next few laps until everyone comes into the pits. Once everyone's into the pits, we can then start making some progress. So you can see their teammate is in the pits, so Jenson Button has made his pit stop on the end of this lap. We brake towards the final corner of the circuit. You can see we've caught up massively to all of the back markers. but of course the vast majority are going to be making a pit stop. Some of them may be staying out a little bit longer, and that is exactly the case. So lap 7 in this Grand Prix, you can see so many people now coming out through the pits, and as you can see there on your screens, if you have a look in the top left, Sebastian Vettel is behind me. So remember, the gap was around about a second or so, maybe not even a second, like a couple of tenths, because Vettel was challenging me before we went into the pits. You can already see the gap that we have pulled out on Sebastian Vettel from this point onwards. But we skip ahead to lap 11 out of the Grand Prix, and you can see I'm actually closing up onto Kimi Raikkonen. Now, you may or may not have heard it on the engineers, on the team radio, but they told me that Kimi Raikkonen has got an ERS failure, which means that the 80 brake horsepower that you can get, the electrical boost, has failed on Raikkonen's car. So he's down 80 horsepower, which is absolutely massive. And I just decided, screw it, let's go into Rich Mix, let's see if we can catch him down. And Raikkonen was honestly really slow. He was struggling for speed a lot, and of course with everyone else getting held up behind me, just like in Australia, it's given me a free chance just to race my own race. And this could be a chance for us to get a podium in our second Grand Prix for McLaren, which would be absolutely amazing if we could do that. But we need to get past Raikkonen, but we know that he's got a problem, so we don't need to take risks. I've been quicker than him. We make a slight contact into turn 10, locking up the rear brakes. Nothing comes of it. We get the DRS, and it's McLaren, Honda versus Ferrari, and you can already see Raikkonen's car has got an issue, because we have just gone straight past Kimi Raikkonen. No problems whatsoever. That is P3 for us. Up the road further is Lewis Hamilton and then Nico Rosberg. Fantastic stuff from us. I can't believe that we're in third place for McLaren. It is absolutely awesome. Braking now towards the back straight, you can see the gap is nearly a second already on Kimi Raikkonen. So if you don't believe that he has an issue, there is your proof. Raikkonen has been told, I was told on the race engineer, Raikkonen has got a problem with his car, and this is a clear proof of his problem. He is already out of DRS. We've already got out of DRS range of him, and that's just through one sector, proving the point that Raikkonen has definitely got a problem. We skip ahead to lap 14 now of the Grand Prix. The gap behind me is 5.3 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. In fact, Raikkonen was 6 seconds back. We managed to build on him in just two laps. And then Vettel got past Raikkonen, and Vettel was much quicker than me. But of course, he was held up. Lewis Hamilton comes through to take the race. Nico Rosberg is going to finish in second place. Hamilton did overtake Rosberg, but I don't care about any of them, because McLaren Honda has just taken third place in the Bahrain Grand Prix. An absolutely fantastic result for us, due to the fact that the AIs were just not as aggressive as I thought they would be on the brakes, and that we made the undercut work in the pit stops to build us a gap. Raikkonen we got past quickly, and I think the others took a long time to get past. They took about a lap or two in which I got straight past him, gave me all the buffer. Everything went my way in that Grand Prix. If things didn't go the way I wanted to in that race, definitely wouldn't have had a podium, because Vettel was over a second a lap quicker than us when he got past Raikkonen. So think about if you know, we couldn't get past. And of course Vettel was stuck behind Bottas, and Bottas was slowing Vettel down as well during that race. Absolutely amazing for us to be able to get a podium, and it's just awesome for McLaren Honda to be back on that podium. There we are. There is our avatar jumping onto the podium for third place. An amazing result. There are the McLaren Honda mechanics. That's what we want to see more often. And there we are, picking up our trophy for third place. An absolutely superb result for us. And the champagnes are going to be flowing. Rosberg taking second. Hamilton's going to take the win, so he fights back against Rosberg. Rosberg was leading throughout the whole race. Hamilton did make an overtake around about lap 13, lap 14. So a very late move for Hamilton, which secures him the win. I myself take third. I am absolutely ecstatic about it. Vettel fourth, Bottas fifth, Raikkonen finishing down in sixth, showing that his problems cost him. Ricciardo down in seventh, Verstappen eighth, Button all the way down in 12th. So no points for Jensen Button, but we're going to help that out by getting a podium finish. And with Verstappen, Ricciardo all the way down the order, only getting a few amount of points, I think we're going to be able to stay in front of Red Bull in the constructor standings for the time being, which is absolutely awesome. So we can scroll down the order, see everything that happened there. But if you did enjoy the video, drop a like rating, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here. Finally, a quick look at the championship. We are 5th in the championships now, so we have gone up the order in the championship. Going to take a quick look at the constructor standings as well in just a second before we go. Yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. We are third. I'll see you for the next race in China. Take care. Peace.